Sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
And welcome back, everybody, to Mission Logs number 3. I appreciate you guys coming back to the third episode and checking in on me and see how I'm doing up here, roaming the galaxy and whatnot. First things first, I appreciate the feedback and the warm compliments that I got on the previous episode, Mission Logs 2. It means a lot to me that you guys are watching it and are um commenting and watching the reels and stuff like that. It means a whole lot to me. So um hopefully we get some good reels and get some good stuff from this episode as well. But yeah, lots of things going on. This is what, day 90, I guess. This is day 90 in this long number 3. Lots of stuff going on. um I guess right off the bat, yeah, somebody's losing their job, and guess who it is? It's me. I'm losing my job. So last week I got a message from my manager, said she wanted to talk. I thought I was gonna get fired. So I was like, oh man, I'm all the way up here. Like, it's kind of weird getting fired, like all the way up here. Like, that's gonna be an awkward conversation. No, she told me that the company was shutting down and that um, just the mumbo jumbo, like, hey, you're still gonna be here, this and this and this and this and that, yada yada yada. So I can't say that I'm surprised, but I can say that I'm surprised that it happened this quickly. I figured, maybe the summer, not the summer, maybe it's like the winter time. I feel like we would have gotten the boot, but we didn't. It's kind of like towards the end of the summer. I saw the signs. I've been seeing the signs for a while. People thought I was crazy, but I wasn't crazy. I was just I was seeing the writings on the wall, and it was just like, what am I gonna do? I've applied to a couple of jobs, um, never got anything back. And now that I'm in this kind of race against time to find a job, it's kind of hard now because it's like I've applied to like at least 8 different jobs, and I don't even know if I'm gonna hear back from any of them. I might not. So um I can't say that I'm not scared, because I am scared, because I don't know. This is not saying this is new territory for me, because obviously I've been in this position before where I've lost my job, but I was fired at that time. This time I'm losing my job, and I got a notice this time, and now I have to find another job. Um but like I said, can't say that I'm not scared, but I am, you know. In times like these, I wonder, why me? Why is everything happening to me? Why am I losing my job? Why did I lose my dog? Why have I lost friends? Why have things not happened for me in other aspects of my life? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And it's more of a questioning. I'm not angry. I'm just questioning, like, why me? Why do certain people who do worse off things than I do, who are liars and cheaters and manipulators and just all these other things, and they get to have, the happy endings. They get to get married, they get to find the love of their life, they get to have a family, they get to have a good paying job, they get to have that life. And I'm over here, a 33-year-old man, struggling in a 2-bedroom apartment by himself. um it I don't take the time to just reflect on a lot of things, because I constantly have to keep going and going and going. But I haven't had the time to sit down with myself and just be like, is it me? Am I the problem? Like, um, I don't. more so question. Oh, I do question. I'm not gonna lie, but I do question God sometimes. I'm like, hey, like, why me, dude? Like, why me? Like, why am I going through this? Like, I didn't. I mean, I did sign up for this, but like, I mean, now, I mean, I made this joke on Instagram where I said, who's ever praying for my downfall? I mean, could you guys at least wait till after Avengers Doomsday? Like, can I at least get to, you know, just enjoy that? And then next year, yeah, let's pray on my downfall in 2027. So, that's a lot of stuff that's going on for me. I'm losing my job and now, like I said, having to find another job, and then I don't know if that job's going to be any better and it could be worse, but in times like these, I as I said, all these things, like I worry, I get upset, I get scared, and I question a lot of things. But also, I mean, that's normal as a human, emotions and questions and whatnot. But there's there's a thing called having faith, and my faith is pretty strong in what I believe in. Um, you know, um, there's a chapter in the Bible that I kind of remind myself about a lot when I go through these things, you know, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. I mean, I understand that maybe you guys are not, um, you don't believe in the same thing as I do, but I'm here to kind of give you some kind of hope, some kind of good word, something, because I mean, who would I be? How would I not call myself a Christian if I'm not here trying to spread the gospel and spread the word? So, um, it's Matthew chapter 6. So this is in the New Testament. Um, and I'm going to read. It's kind of closer towards the end of the chapter, and it says here, this is 25 and down. So pretty much it says, um, and I might do like the Bible verse like right here, so you guys can read along with me. It says, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is it not life more than meat, and the body than raiment, which is clothing? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are ye not much better than they?" That's the one that kind of hits because it's like when you do think about it, the birds in the air, they don't do what we do. We're humans, They don't store up, and they don't do these things. They don't farm, they don't irrigate, they don't have a bank account, and they don't worry because they know they're going to get fed. They know they're going to find food and they're going to live another day. So that's what it's saying. It's like God feeds them. So are you not better than they are? You know? It says, which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his stature? And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. You know, pretty much saying like the clothes, like why are we worrying about what we're going to wear? Like, and it's like, well, look at the lilies in the field, like they're straight, they're good. Like, you know, it says, wherefore, if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall ye not much more clothe you, O ye little faith? So it pretty much is saying, like, well, if God can clothe the fields with all these flowers and lilies, you know, and whatnot, he's like, shall he not much more clothe you? Like, are you are you so worried about like what am I gonna wear? What it's like where it's like God's got you. God's got you. Like have some faith. Don't have a faith of a mustard seed that can move mountains. So it says, therefore, take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or whether withal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. So it's not, it's common sense. God knows, like, hey, this creation that I created, that I have a very special place in my heart. Um, I'm going to feed you. You're going to find some food. You're going to find drink. You're going to find clothing. I mean, look at the homeless here. They're clothed, they do find food in a way. There are places that will give them food. So it's like they don't even worry, you know, and they're living on the street. And, you know, yes, some may have mental health issues, but some of them might be more happy than we are. I don't know. You know, we worry about these materialistic things, our phones, our where we live, our vehicles, money. We worry about all these things, but there are people who live less than we do, and they're happier than we are, you know? But it says at verse 33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things that should be added unto you. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow shall take thought for itself, of things of itself. Sufficient until the day is evil thereof. So don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to worry about itself in a way. And all these verses here have been not beaten into my head growing up, but I have heard these things Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday for the last however many years of my life. Um, you know, not just in church, but also on social media, on TikTok, on YouTube. Like, I hear all these things. These things are not just like random things that pop up. These are things that, because of my algorithm, you know, and I worry about stuff like I just said, but that's the verse that kind of puts me at bay, where it's like, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to worry about itself. All in all, God has got you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He's always got your back, no matter what. Even when we feel as if everything is gone, everybody's gone, nobody's here, nobody wants us, God still has our back, and God will still have our best interests always. I used to worry about a lot of things. I used to worry so much where I had high blood pressure, and I had to go to the doctor and take medication for that, until one day, when I was working at HISD, I kind of was like, why am I worrying about so much crap? Like, why am I worrying about this job that pays me too little? Why am I worrying about my bills that I have to pay, when I don't work in the summer? What do I worry about all these things? Like, I'm not a dummy, you know? Um, so I put my faith and my trust in God. And from that moment on, things have happened for me that have been better than the last thing. So, I ended up leaving HISD. I ended up finding a temp job that paid me a little bit more. Then I ended up finding, another job that paid me a little bit more. And then I ended up finding this job where I'm at now that paid me a little bit more. So this whole kind of cycle that's going on, like, um, it's going to end better, and it's going to be better than my last situation. So that's one thing that I'm going through right now, trying to go through this job and just money and all this and that, worrying about a lot of stuff. And I it's so much stuff. But enough of the negative. Let's go into the other stuff that I've done. So while on my travels this month, I did a couple of things actually. So um my brother's birthday was on the 2nd of July, and we celebrated his birthday on the 4th of July. Now, Not gonna say I was a little upset, but I was a little upset because I wanted to go to the Astros game on the 4th of July because I don't necessarily have plans or people to hang out with for 4th of July. Like nobody's texting me to like, hey bro, come over. So um I took matters into my own hands and I ended up going on the 3rd. So I went to the Houston FIFA Fan Fest that was like across the street. And for the first time in a while, I rode the Metro Rail. I used to ride the Metro Rail a lot when I used to work in downtown. Um, and it was fun. It was cool. It was exciting. I felt like I was a part of the city. So this time I got to park at a Metro garage and take the Metro into the city and go check out the Fan Fest. Now the Fan Fest was really fun. It was nice. It was cool. Obviously I went on the 3rd of July, so there was really no exciting matches. Like there was no US or Mexico or anybody like that. They were playing later on. Mexico was playing July 5th, I believe. And I think the match that was going on was Egypt and somebody else. I totally forgot. But I walked around and was like, well, this is really cool. They really transform these blocks that we usually like to hang out in, and we park and we never second think about any of it. They transformed it into this fan fest, and it was really cool. You know, I got to take some pictures. I saw the boot that's right there, and then I saw the soccer ball that's right there. Um, it was really cool. I mean, I had a nice time. I didn't buy anything because everything was stupid expensive, And honestly, if I wanted to buy FIFA World Cup stuff, I could go to 7-Eleven and it's not going to cost me that much more, or go to Academy or buy it online or do something, or even go to the truck stops. The truck stops had all that stuff too as well. And a bunch of the 250 stuff for our anniversary. So I didn't eat. I kind of just roamed around for a little bit, killing some time, and then I ended up going to Rodeo Goat, which is my favorite place. Shout out to Rodeo Goat. Some of the best burgers, some of the best burgers, some of the best fries, and some of the tastiest drinks. I highly recommend if you guys are ever in Edo and there's no construction going on, and it's a Friday night or a Saturday night, or even just a random weekday where you have enough time for lunch. I highly recommend you go to Rodeo Goat. Some of the best, some of the best. I'm telling you, I get the bodacious and I get my jalapenos on the side. And, obviously I scrape all the seeds because that's what makes it super spicy. And I put it back in the burger and I just go to town. The fries are always really good. Especially if you get like the sweet potato fries. Oh my gosh, the best, just the best. Like I said, highly recommend Rodeo Goat. If you guys are ever in town, that's the spot to go to. So at this point, like I'm at Rodeo Goat, I'm eating food, some of the matches are still going on and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? I might as well drink. So I got a couple drinks, and for some reason they hit a little differently this time. And I'm like, okay, cool. I still have enough time. So I ended up going around the corner to truck yard and it's super empty. I would figure like people would want to like go somewhere that doesn't have expensive food and they could try some local restaurants and little bars and whatnot. But I'm guessing since maybe the nightlife might have made it a little bit better. I don't know. But uh uh I got a couple drinks there and that's what kind of hit me and I was just like, oh crap. So as I was saying, I was going to the Astros game later on that night, and I walked myself from where Rodeo Goat is to Dyken Park. I hate saying Dyken Park because it's Minute Maid Park. I walked my happy drunk ass all the way over there, and that was like the longest walk I've ever been on in my life. It's hot. I'm drunk, and I'm sweating, and I'm taking small steps because I'm just I'm it's hot and drunken. Like I don't think those mix at all. Honestly, I knew what I was doing, and I was just like, why not? So I gotta fix my glasses. Nobody tells me my glasses are crooked. And I ended up waiting in line for a good while, and my drunkenness kind of went away after that, and I ended up going into the game. I got really good seats. Obviously, I'll put like a picture right here of the seats that I was sitting in the view. They played the Rays. They lost pretty, not pretty bad, but like it was just kind of like I gotta get out of here. Um, it was cool seeing all the little merch and stuff. They got the little 250 and whatnot. I don't think I bought anything. Um, no, they had some stuff. They had some stuff for like 250, a lot of shirts and whatever, whatnot. And I just didn't buy it. I think I ran into my cousin. Like we kind of looked at each other, but I wasn't sure if that was him. And then kind of just walked off. And this is my half cousin. So I really don't know him that well, but he goes to a lot of Astro games. And I know that son of a bitch knows that I like baseball. And I guess he lives here. I don't know. But he never invites me to any games. He never tells me like, "Hey, dude, let's hang out." Obviously, he's my half cousin, so like he doesn't have a priority to get to know me. Um, but yeah, I think it was him because we kind of were like fake. And then I saw his post, and he was there, and I was just like, "Oh, maybe that was him." I think he had the same thought. He's like, "Is that my cousin?" Like, that's weird. Um, and this is my cousin on my dad's side. So, but anyways, uh, yeah, that was a pretty fun night. And then, walked my ass back to the Metro Rail, and it was still hot. Like I don't know what's going on here in Texas, but this summer heat is unbearable. It's like record breaking. Like it's 106, 107, 110 degrees outside, and it's just we're miserable. And yet we're still out. We're still out for some reason. It's so bad that the walls inside my apartment are hot. Like it generates heat, and I'm like, No, this should not be happening at all. You know, this should not be happening." And like I said, I get back on the Metro Rail, get off, I go to my car, and I go back home. I was like, I kind of wanted to go back out and drink and just keep it going. I haven't really had a fun night like that in a while. But I was like, no, I'm just gonna go home. So the following weekend, I did something even a little bit more fun. I ended up going back to Arlington and traveling to Arlington, not for work, but for an Astros game. So they were playing the Rangers at home, and I know I've said it on the podcast multiple times that Globe Life Field is a really nice stadium, and I really highly recommend that people go at least to go watch the Astros play the Rangers when they do up there. It's only a few hours away from Houston. Why not take that drive for a day trip? So I ended up doing that, and I enjoyed it. I finally got to go to Forever Young record store. Shout out to them. I got one of their little stickers, Forever Young record store up here in Grand Prairie, Texas. So 250,000 CDs, vinyls, and tapes. That's a lot. It's a lot of shit. And I got like three records. I got two of them that I wasn't really sure of. I kind of listened to them on Spotify, and I was just like, okay, that's something that I like. And I can actually tell you guys because I have my Discogs on my app. So if you guys collect records and you want to keep track of your big collection like I do, I use Discogs. Um, I use Discogs. It's blurry. There you go, Discogs, and that is where I keep my collection and everything in order. So I got the Getter Boys "We Can't Be Stopped" on a nice blue pressing. I think that was the 35th anniversary re-release of the album. I got Adventure by Half Japanese, and I got Wonderful Rainbow by Lightning Bolt. There are three records that I bought. And I don't know for you other record collectors or vinyl collectors or whatever you guys want to call yourselves. It's hard for me to make a decision on what I want and how many records I want to buy. When I've gone to um what's it called? Cactus Records. Shout out to Cactus Records. I I've bought 5, 6 albums at one time and it cost me like 250, 275. I love music. I love just the feel of the warmth of the record giving me this playback, and now I obviously have to be a little more lenient on like how much I can buy. So I only bought 3 records, but it was kind of difficult because I was going through the whole section because they have like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, different genres, different, musical categories, different years. And I was picking up 3 different records and I was just like, I don't want these. These are very like generic, you know. The first records I got was Are You Experienced by Jimi Hendrix. I got um the Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, and I had got something else. Oh, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And I was just like, this is great, but this is kind of hitting one too many um years, kind of. And I'm like, let me switch it up. So then I looked and I was like, oh, okay, well, Amy Winehouse is Back to Black. Okay, that's cool. And then I found the Shins. I forgot what album it was. Um, but I got that one. I was like, okay, cool. It's 2 of them. And then I was looking for something else, I believe. I forgot the other record that I had got. And I looked and I'm like, again, this is very generic. Like I can find these at the other stores that I go to. So I put those back and I'm looking and I found, for me, it's the cover that stands out. And then obviously you want to be like a noob and you don't want to, kind of put your phone by your ear and just be like, oh, what does this sound like? I don't want to buy the album and it be trash. So I listened to Half Japanese, their album, Adventure, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like I can dig this. This is very indie. This is stuff I like. So I got that one. Same thing with Lightning Bolt. And then obviously I have to get the Ghetto Boys album. I'm from Houston. Why not? Why not, buy somebody from who represents the city I live in, whatnot. So I did that, and then I went to go get some barbecue, and then oh my gosh, that barbecue. I do not know how to pronounce the name, but I will put the name of the cup and then the food. Well, the food right here. And oh my gosh, the barbecue was so good. I haven't had good barbecue like that in a very long time. The brisket was so tender and just pulled apart, and just everything was so good, just everything. And it makes me upset because maybe a week or two before, I went to Papa's barbecue right here, right by me, and I got brisket, some sausage, a thing of ribs and whatnot. And man, I was so disappointed. I waited in line for like 45 minutes, maybe an hour, because there was just so many people. When I came home, my rib barely had any meat on there, and I barely got like a little bit of brisket and whatnot. So I was just disappointed. So if anybody here works at Papa's or somebody that cooks the food at Papa's or whatever, whatnot. Like, bro, count your days because that shit was garbage. I did not like that. If I'm paying a certain amount of money, give me what I want, give me what I want. So, but the food was fantastic. And then I kind of waited a little bit because the game started at 6. So this was a night game. I would have done a lot better if this was a day game, like at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock or whatever, whatnot. But this was a night game. Obviously, I guess they had to schedule these games in like participation with the World Cup because certain games at that time, I think England and Norway were playing. So by the time the game started, the match was already going to be done. So, um, but you know what? I will say this: Texas Live, that's right in front of Globe Life Field. Holy shit, that is like the coolest place I've ever been to. That was my first time going there. The first time I didn't get to go because I just went to the game and then went home, or no, I went to stay in a hotel and then I went home. But this time I had some time to kill. My God, it is fantastic in there. It is huge. It's cold, thank God. Um, and there's so many restaurants and so many bars. Like you could probably hit up every place in there from when it opened to when it closes, and you would probably still want to come back and still try other stuff. Like it was just, it's amazing. I wish we had something like that here in Houston. The closest thing we have is Edo, or you want to go down Main Street. But if we had our own like Texas Live, because I think even St. Louis has some kind of like version of that as well. If we had our own little thing of like that, holy moly, that'd be great. That'd be amazing. But I feel bad because I feel like that would take away from all the smaller businesses and whatnot that's around Edo and all that area. But I feel like they could always uh I guess put a spot in the building and whatnot. So it's not, it wouldn't be taken away from business. It would just be adding to business. I don't know. Anyways, um, but it was fun. The game was fun. I got really good seats, and I'll put the view of my seats right there. And I finally caught a ball. It's been a long time since I caught a ball, and if I could find it, it's somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah, see, boom. I have not caught a ball in a very long time. And I was excited about this. I mean, it's not a home run ball, it's not anything. They were throwing these in the bullpen, and obviously the people that work in the bullpen, they threw it up there, and I guess it bounced off one guy, then bounced off another guy, and then bounced right in front of my foot. And before the guy even saw where it went, I had already picked it up. And I was just kind of like this is mine. I can't believe I got a ball. And I was thinking in my head, the people that were sitting next to me, they were probably thinking like, oh, this guy is probably like some kind of autistic kid or whatever. Like he's got a ball, he's just like this with a ball, and just like this is like this is mine. But I love baseball. I've always loved baseball. The game of baseball is so beautiful to me and so cinematic, and so just it's just it's great. So it was fun. So I ended up getting this ball and whatnot. And then the game started, and oh my God, the game was great. They hit a fucking grand slam. It's been a while since I've seen a grand slam in front of me. Everybody was just doing a really good job. I believe they won 9-3. 9-3. And I already left by like the eighth inning because I was like, all right, this is done. Let me hurry up and go before people start wanting to leave. Obviously, the traffic was already getting bad. So I'm like, damn. So I drove all the way back home to Houston, and I stopped in Madisonville at Bucky's because you have to stop at Bucky's. Why not? Stopped and got me some food, just hung out there for a little bit. Got back here at like 1:30 in the morning, I believe. And then the rest of the day on Sunday in the morning, I just kind of just chilled out and I was super tired. Super tired. There was just a lot of stuff going on too as well. I ended up messing up my hood release, like the little thing that pops up when you press the little thing to pop up the hood. That kind of got messed up, and I was freaking out about that because there's some car issues that I have to deal with, that I need the hood open. So I ended up getting that fixed, and then and one thing after another, my tire ended up messing up, so I had to go get new tires. So that was money I had to spend on that as well. And it was one of those things. But it was cool because that day we ended up having some of the guys here. We had Caesar, we had Daniel, we had Miguel, we had Kiko, we had who else did we have? Uh, not my high school, my childhood elementary school friend that I went to school with. His name is Johnny. Shout out to Johnny if he's watching this. He finally came over to my apartment and hung out after so many times of inviting him to things. He finally came out and he had a good time. He had a good time. He got to meet my friends, and we just talked, and he talked about stuff and whatnot. We talked about the story about them throwing the rocks at me. There's that. So we had a good time. I cooked some burgers. We sat and just we had a really good time. And there's some fun stuff that happened. Aside from like all the negative stuff and whatnot. You know, but I will say some, I guess not more negative stuff. But this is my vlogs to you guys. This is my logs telling you how I'm feeling. And whatnot. And another thing that I'm feeling is I miss my dog. I miss Minnie. um Instagram and TikTok and Facebook have really been doing a number on me. They really have. I'm constantly getting shelter rescue pages and videos and pictures of these dogs, and some of these dogs look like Minnie, and there are a lot of pit bulls, and it hurts me because I want to do something, but I can't do anything. And TikTok, it's always like I'm getting people's dogs acting dumb, and I'm always laughing at that. But it was this one night where I saw this video of this person posted, "I'm mad at the world because my dog is gone." And I will not lie to you. I will not lie to you. That broke me. That broke me so much to where I haven't cried like I did in a while. You know, it's been really difficult. It's been really difficult. And I'm sorry that I'm I guess showing emotion here on camera. But no, yeah, man, it's like I didn't get to enjoy things with her. Like I was looking forward toward the World Cup, watching it with her. Some the games again, obviously. She loves watching baseball. The football season's coming up, so like she's got her jersey and everything like that. And yeah, man, I miss Minnie. So um, but yeah, it was that video that kind of was the breaking of the dam, because then I just kept seeing other videos of people, their dog passing away. And I was just like, can y'all stop? Can y'all stop? It'll be 2 months in a couple weeks. And actually next week, yeah, I think it'll be Tuesday. It'll be 2 months. And I mean, I totally forgot about it on 4th of July. I thought it was July 6th, but I guess I told myself that so I wouldn't be sad on 4th of July, because I'm not gonna be sad on Red, White, and Blue Day. So um but then I stopped, I guess, liking those videos and commenting on those videos, and they kind of went away. I mean, I still get videos of pit bulls being dumb and being goofy, and it just reminds me of Minnie. So, and it sucks even more because I would like to get another dog. But there's a lot of things that are going on that I can't get another dog. Obviously, my job, if I don't have a job, I don't have any money. If I don't have any money, I can't feed an animal and I can't feed myself. Um, vet bills, that takes money, you know. I don't have anybody to help me raise the dog anymore. I was lucky to have my ex. We both raised Minnie together. Even when we broke up, like we were still cordially, raising the dog and buying and her food and paying for vet bills and whatever, whatnot. But at this point in my life, like I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have a wife, I don't have a baby mama, I don't have a sneaky link, I don't have anything. So, you know, it's just me, and I have a lot of things going on. So it's like I don't think I can take care of a dog right now, especially if I'm trying to find a job, and I don't know if I'm going to be on the road again or if I'm going to have time. Like there's a lot of factors in it, but I don't know. It's just like I said, all these things. I miss Minnie. There's no dog like her. So uh, even with this new thing that I'm doing now, I'm door dashing. There goes my glasses again. So I'm doing DoorDash now, obviously, because I told you guys that my job's going to shit. So I did that today, and man, shout out to you door dashers. It is a lot that you guys have to do. You're constantly driving around the city. You're constantly picking up things, waiting in line, having to go to weird places to deliver food. And it's tiring and it's hot outside and you have to compete with other Door Dashers. Like, that's insane. Like, I salute you guys, as somebody who's used Uber Eats and really hasn't used DoorDash that much. I commend you. It's a lot, and you guys should be getting paid a little bit more than what you guys are actually, getting for some of these pickups and whatnot. Because you have to deal with gas, you gotta deal with traffic, you gotta deal with, so many other things. And I commend you for it. I did it today, because this is crazy. Um, I went to work today, because my manager let me come into work. She was like, "Hey, you can come help out in the warehouse, whatever, whatnot." And it's a free check, so I'm like, "Okay, I'm not gonna turn down a free check." So today I ended up going to work, and I noticed that everybody was outside just talking, and I'm like, "That's not normal. Usually people are inside, they're working, they're not, chit chatting outside." And then they started walking up to the glass glass door that goes into the offices, and they were reading some kind of paper, and then they were just walking away, getting to their cars and going. And I was like, what is that? What does that mean? And then I just saw a bunch of people on their phone talking, walking around, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go look at this myself. So I went to go look at myself, and it was pretty much saying that they didn't pay their rent. The landlords came, changed all the locks, and if we tried to get inside, we're trespassing. Everything that's in that building belongs to the landlord now and whatnot. And that's pretty embarrassing. That's pretty embarrassing. So my manager was like, just go home. We'll figure this out tomorrow. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna DoorDash. I'm already out. Like, why not DoorDash, make some money while I'm out? And that's what I did. I did a couple of routes. I did from, I want to say, from like 8 o'clock to like 11 o'clock. And then I took like an hour break, and then started up back in at 12, and then ended at 2 or 2:30 ish. And yeah, that had me tired. I ended up knocking out on the couch because it's really hot outside, and my car doesn't have AC still. And I'm going from my area and then having to go to places and then picking up from there and going to other places and then going into downtown and picking up from there and having to deal with, and I'm like, oh my God, like it was so much. And then I started getting hungry, and I was just like, damn it, you guys make me want food right now. So I ended up, cutting it off at like 2:30 and ended up getting lunch and coming back home and just relaxing because it had been a long day. And I made some money. I didn't make a lot of money, but I made enough money to help pay for some stuff. And, I'm gonna DoorDash until, I find something better. I might keep it. I might make some extra money on the side. Who knows? So, um, what else has been going on? Oh yeah, there is one situation that's been going on that has been a no, no, no. It's not been a big issue, but it's something that's going on in LA that I have ties to. So for you day one people have been listening to the podcast for a while, I interviewed this guy named Mega Man. His name's Steven Martinez, but he goes by Mega Man. I've had him on the podcast long time ago, long, long, long time ago. And his video's still on YouTube if you guys wanna, find some funny stuff and watch it. So I found out that Steven had got caught up on some stuff, some very, very troubling things that are a big no-no. And shout out to my friend Whiskey J, who has been doing this thing called the Mega Cuck Files. It's a whole thing. It's too much to explain. I would go over the time limit that I have. And he's been reporting about all these things that Steven Martinez has been getting himself to, all the lives, all these things, and whatever not. And it's I said in a story, it's either in a story or I might have said in a comment. And I was like, this is how Latina moms feel when their novelas are on, like, because the Mega Cuck Files are my novelas. And I'm just sitting there listening to the chisme, and everything that's going on, and just laughing at all these things that my friend Whiskey J has been talking about. But in all seriousness, um, Stephen, if you are watching this, which there's a very, very high chance that you are, uh, man, you got yourself into a huge pickle. And look, man, I know in one of your videos you said that you need to forgive yourself and you need to forgive others and you need to do all these other things to reach the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 10th dimension, 13th dimension. I don't know what kind of wackadoo shit you're talking about and all these conspiracies and whatever, whatnot, bro. But in all actuality, like, bro, I saw what you did. You know, domestic abuse is not, it's not great. And it's really shitty to know that I have ties to you because of that. You know, I was on your podcast and you were on my podcast, and I literally flew out to LA to meet with you, not just you, but would go to meet with you to do a podcast, and you left me hanging and you lied to me for 3 days straight. You know, I knew what you were doing. Jose told me the truth, you know, and you couldn't even be honest with me about that. You know, you kept pestering me about when I was going to show up and how blah 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 blah. So aside from that, like, dude, it's embarrassing to know that I know you and that I have communicated with you and I have done stuff, you know, so I have created content with you, you know, for podcast. And man, it's not about forgiving others. It's not about forgiving yourself. It's about taking accountability. It's about asking for forgiveness from others. You know, I'm not sure if your ex girlfriend is going to forgive you for what you did to her, you know, but you have to get rid of your pride. You have to strip your ego. You have to strip all these things away, and you have to take accountability. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to say, I need to own up to what I've done. What I've done is horrible. What I've done is not right. It's embarrassing, and I'm embarrassing myself. I'm embarrassing my kids, and I'm embarrassing my family. You know, people are laughing at you. Not people are laughing with you. They're laughing at you, bro. I'm laughing at you, and I'm also feeling sad and and disappointed in you, dude. You know, so it's not about forgiveness of yourself. No, you're taking the you're just taking a scaredy cat way out. You're not accepting the responsibility and accountability that you should be doing. So it's about asking for forgiveness. It's about praying to God first and asking for forgiveness for what you've done. And then turning around and asking for forgiveness for the person you have done. Those things too. Now, if she forgives you, she forgives you. If she doesn't, okay. But that's one good step that in the right direction, you know? But because you're doing that, that's not going to take away that you're not going to go to jail, because you're definitely going to jail, bro. You're definitely going to jail for what you've done. She has evidence. You have no evidence. If you do have evidence, I highly suggest you put it out there. I'm sure that's what your lawyer has said, but I'm sure also your lawyer has said to shut the fuck up. But you're not, because you want to reach the fifth, sixth, seventh dimension, whatever the hell that means. What is ever what you're crazy, bro. You're loco. I don't know if it's the Ozempic, or I don't know if it's something in the LA air. I don't know if it's because of the fires that you're like this, but you gotta stop this, bro. Grow up, man. You're almost 50. You're almost a grandpa. You're pretty much a grandpa. Like, come on, dude. Come on. You know, you need to take accountability, be a man, and ask for forgiveness. And then once you've gotten forgiveness, then you need to work on yourself and be better and forgive yourself and just move in the right direction, be better for your kids. You know, none of us want to see you fall. None of us want to see you, you know, in prison, in jail. Nobody wants to see you hurt. People want to see you achieve what you've been saying you were going to achieve. You still haven't, but you can do that. You know, just I don't know, man. Maybe you just need to stop podcasting. You need to just get off social media, just altogether. Just get rid of that shit. Like it's warping your brain. It's not good. It's no good at all. It's not. It hasn't done nobody good other than my podcast. Um, but you don't need that, man. You don't need that. You need to be there for your kids. You need to be there for yourself, and you need to figure out what the hell you're going to do next. I'm not a perfect person. I'm taking every step I can day by day and asking God to help me be a better person. And I think that's what you need. You know this. We've talked about this before. You know what you're supposed to do. So there's that. That's a lot. So like I said, if he's watching, that's a lot, Steven. So, if you want to talk about me, go ahead. That's cool, man. Thanks. But mention my podcast and then mention where you can listen to it and where you can find it on YouTube. That would mean a lot to me if you can. If you're going to talk shit about me, you already talk shit about everybody else, you know. Um, but other than that, man, I mean, that's kind of a lot of stuff that's been going on. You know, that's really kind of the gist of everything. Just the work and then this and that. Oh, and I forgot the one thing, the show, the most important thing that was going to happen this month. So for you guys, I've for the last two episodes, I have been talking about Where Comfort Lies doing a show. We were going to do a show July 26th at the end with Envy Room and Apricity and Shira and Sasser. Well, guys and Sasser, I'm sorry if you're watching this. But Sasser backed out. Don't know why. They didn't really promote. Kind of sucks that you guys didn't. Kind of leaves a bad taste in some people's mouth. Um, so we had to find another group or whatever. We ended up finding Justin, who played guitar with us last year at Scout Bar, and so we had a lineup. We were excited. I was making promo videos. I was promoting. Everybody was promoting. We were having a good time. We were ready for this show. Well, the show got sidelined because of some personal issues that our lead singer and the booker of the venue, the booker of the show and whatnot, um, has to deal with personal. I'm not going to say his business, but I will say this. If you go and listen to the episode that we did a few months ago, you can kind of guess what it was. But it was up to me and Raul to figure out what the hell we were going to do with this show. Do we power on as a four piece without him and one of us lead and sing, or do we cancel the show, or do we back out, or we do everything? So we ended up canceling the show. We felt like it was our best interest to cancel the show, not just for ours, but also for just for Eddie and everything else that was going on. We just felt like I don't think we can do this. So we didn't end up having our show on at the end, which is a bummer because I know the guys in Apricity and I know the guys in Envy Room and Eric, who's going to be our bass player, who is also in New Shop and he's in Rena's and he has his own little thing. Um, we were all looking forward to it, especially Juan. I have not played with Juan in a group since 2017. So like 9 years. It's been a long time since I've gotten to play a show with him. And this was going to be like a little reunion. Didn't happen. So I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm a little upset, but I mean, it happened, you know, and all I wish is that my friend gets better. That's it. That's it. That's all. I just wish my friend gets better. And if we do continue, cool, great. We don't. This was kind of fun. Kind of fun. But anyways, yeah, it sucks that we didn't get to play this show, guys. And I'm sorry that, people that were gonna come out, I apologize. It sucks. I made all these promos. I made these videos. I, recorded this. I had it. It looked good. The video looked good. If you guys didn't see the video, it's on my personal page. The promo video that I did for the show looked good. I drew inspiration from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If you guys haven't watched that show, what are you doing? So it's a very like not it's on the nose. And I drew inspiration from that show because I like that show. That's one of my favorite shows. So I made the promo video look like that. And we did all these things and it didn't happen. So it was probably God's way of telling us like it's okay, this doesn't need to happen. It's okay. Like, so there's that. I don't know what's going to happen next month, but I will document it for you guys. I'm very excited because I will be going to, I think it's my first show this year, or maybe one of my second shows. I don't know, but I'm going to go see Silverstein and um why am I blanking out on the band? Origami Angel and the other band that's opening for them for the camp emo tour or whatever it's called. Camp tour. Why am I it's tongue twister. Finally gonna go see them and I'm like super excited. And this would be my, I guess, escape from everything and just kind of enjoy myself and enjoy the music because you guys know I love going to shows and I like playing at shows and I love music and this will be a good thing for me. So uh other than that, I don't know what else is going on next month. We'll see, in the next mission logs, episode number 4. Um that's gonna be cool. But other than that, I think this is where I should leave you guys. Um Thank you so much for watching these videos. I'm sorry if there were little downer parts in this and whatnot. But this is myself documenting what I'm going through in the podcast and whatnot, and showing you guys, this is the one thing with social media. Social media, people show you what they want to show you, all the good things, all the happy things, all the exciting things. But for me, I want to keep it real. I want people to see like, oh, okay, well, he's going through certain things. I'm going through those things as well. You're not alone. We're not alone. It annoys the hell out of me that I always see all these things of like, oh, I'm at, you know, somewhere. And it's like, bro, you're only showing what you want us to show. What you want to see it. You are only showing us what you want us to see. And for you guys, if you follow me on social media and all that, you guys know that I post a lot of things. I'm not trying to get attention. I'm not trying to get sympathy. I'm not trying to get a boohoo. I'm not trying to get pity. I'm just being 100% real and just putting myself out there. It's hard because it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to put yourself out there with your walls down because people can attack you. People can attack me now and take clips from this podcast and make fun of me and laugh at me and say like, "Oh, look, he's crying over a dead dog." And it's like this is planet Earth experience. Now, this is the human experience. This is what we go through every day. Everybody goes through the same thing. Everybody wakes up the same way. Everybody walks the same way. Everybody does the same thing. Everybody feels the same thing. So I just want everybody to know that you guys aren't alone and we are on the same trip. We're on the same planet. We're all traveling through space, trying to find out what's our purpose in life. And right now, I'm trying to figure out what's my purpose right now. So, anyways, thank you guys so much. If you can, please subscribe to the channel. Please like, please share, please comment, do all that stuff that everybody tells you in all the other videos. You can follow me on social media. If you want, you can go to my link tree. It's going to be up there, www.linktr.ee/itns. That's going to give you everything. You're going to have the Instagram, you're going to have the Facebook, you're going to have all that. I didn't have the TikTok, but I mean, if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, it should be my personal one and whatnot. I post clips on there as well. I'm trying to do all that. Also, CapCut sponsor me. I would love to be sponsored by CapCut. I'm using it. I think it's great. I think it's a great tool for editing. This is what I do with my videos with the CapCut. So, but other than that, guys, um, you know, until next time, I really don't have anything else to say, and I'm not going to keep going because sometimes that happens. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, till the next episode.